Hi guys, welcome to this week's edition of the Coffee in Here. I'll show you a weekly update of everything that's going on in store and also in the world of comics. And it's been a busy week for us behind the scenes. Lots of new things being set up for improving the store. So we've signed up with two new suppliers. One who specializes very highly in Hot Toys and Sideshow and Super 7, Prime Studios. So we're going to be branching out a little bit into sort of high-end, high-level collectibles. So lots of things, as I say, like Hot Toys, DC, Marvel, fantasy stuff. I've just been encouraged in the last couple of weeks, ever since I started putting the statues out on display, that it's something that people are interested in. So we're going to be offering more of a diverse range on that over the coming weeks and months. We've also signed up with another company, and we're going to start doing Pokemon cards. We're going to put those at the counter. We're not going to do a big range of them. They're mostly going to be booster packs, that kind of thing. But it's just another thing to add to the store. It's something that a lot of people do ask about. So it's something that we wanted to incorporate into the store, as well as obviously comics and graphics and blah 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 blah, blah and everything else. So over the coming weeks and months, as I say, our range, our portfolio of products is definitely going to diversify somewhat. The store will always be, and I cannot stress this enough, always be 90% comics and graphic novels, because that's what we're about. But I do like the idea of branching out a little bit and maybe attracting those extra customers with those other products. One thing it will never be, I can assure you, is a pop vinyl store, because especially after the news last week with what happened with Mondo, screw Funko, direct quote. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, no, behind the scenes, as I say, been doing lots of stuff. We've topped up a good rake of single issues in the back issue sections. I've increased the amount of DC variants by an extra box as well. Repriced, re-tagged and rebagged all of those. Obviously, you've seen, I've mentioned before, the graphic novels are undergoing a little bit of a makeover. DC and Marvel now have their own sections, which you can see behind me. We've increased the amount of omnibuses and special edition hardcovers as well. So yeah, a lot going on. We're waiting on CGCs coming back. I'm hopeful in the next 2 weeks that'll be the case. So if you have stuff away from us, definitely pop in. I'll be in touch regardless and keep you guys up to date with that. So, and then the next batch I won't be sending off until the end of April. So plenty of time before submitting any new stuff to us as well. And then just one last thing, just before jumping into all of the new stuff. Again, I feel like a broken record here, but please, if you do not want to pull list with us anymore, can you please cancel it? I had to basically take out about 5 pull lists and a total of nearly 200 comics. And again, these are things that, we never put something on someone's pull list. We never put something in someone's box without them asking. So every single one of those titles was requested for by the person who had the pull list with us. As I've said many times before, we are not scary people. Just tell us you don't want to pull list anymore. It's cancelled like that. We don't hold you to stuff we've already pre-ordered or stuff that's out next week. We never do that. So if you are, having financial difficulties, or you're just not enjoying comics anymore, it's as simple as that. I mean, just drop us a message and we will cancel that instantly. But I never want to cancel someone's pull list in case, they walk in a couple of days later and, maybe they've had some bad news and it's been a while since they've been in, but they're here to collect everything and I've put it out. So, but as I say, I had to pull out nearly 200 issues, and it was quite soul destroying, to be honest, because so much work goes into those pull lists. I mean, the pull lists on average, between getting the invoice, marking all the pull lists, bagging and boarding everything and organizing them, it probably takes a good 12 hours. I do it on my own, and it's really soul destroying to put all that effort into it, and then people just go, no, I'll not bother picking it up. So again, as I say, and I've said it many times before, 95% of our customers are amazing, always in contact, always giving you pull list updates, always coming in to collect their stuff. But if you don't want to pull list anymore, again, I can't emphasize enough, we're not scary people. Just let us know. I'll be cancelled. So that's that over and done with. So I'll move on to the stuff that is out this week, and it's a slightly quieter week this week. The pull lists are definitely less than normal. You sometimes get this at the end of the month, with slightly less releases coming out. Tons of great quality, admittedly, but just the quantity's a little less, which in a way I don't mind. I was speaking to someone about this the other day, that you would think as a comic store and as a business I'd prefer quantity get loads of titles and sell those titles. No, for me, I'd rather have quality. I'd rather have titles people are enjoying. I'd rather people were being able to keep up to date with their pull lists, that it didn't feel like a burden or a chore to read them. So, as I say, a little less in terms of quantity this week, but tons of quality. But anyway, so kick things off with variants-wise. Again, not a load of variants, but some quite interesting ones. The first one here is for a new title, which is Unstoppable Doom Patrol, which is accompanied by this beautiful Chris Burnham variant, which has the Who Will Jane Be Today. This is a little bit of a gimmick cover, I have to say. This is to be scratched off, and you'll see one of her different personas underneath. So I presume there's 6 different covers to match the 6 different personalities. But I'm just surprised that they arrived perfectly. You expected scratches across them or something, but they have remained intact. We have Dark Knights of Steel out this week, issue 10. So 10 of 12, so we're approaching the end of Dark Knights of Steel. You've got this Edgecore variant cover here, obviously showing off Wonder Woman and Supergirl. You have Strange Academy's Finals, number 5. They've been doing these where they focus on the different characters in Strange Academy Finals. So obviously focusing on the brothers from Thor's hometown there. We've got some Alex Ross Timeless, of course. So there's Venom Lethal Protector 2 out this week. With a beautiful Alex Ross Venom cover. You've also got the Mandarin for Invincible Iron Man number 4. I should say Invincible Iron Man number 4. We got an email from Diamond that cover A's did not ship this week. So don't worry, it has not been missed in your pull list if you're on it. But they did send us the variants. Cover A's will be here next week. So as I say, Mandarin for Invincible Iron Man number 4. And then the last one is another timeless one, which is Elektra, which is forming part of Daredevil number 9. So as I say, not tons of variants in this week, although we do still have some from last week, and there were some great ones. So if you didn't get a chance to get in last week, there are still a selection there. Looking from here, I can see everyone from Scotty Young to Daniel Warren Johnson to more Alex Ross Timeless to Jim Lee. Tons of great stuff there. But in terms of single issues out this week, I'll take you through them just now. So kick things off with DC, which I'll pull the big one out from the bottom first of all. So from Spencer Ackerman, Evan Narcisse, Jesus Moreno, and Michael Atay is Waller versus Wildstorm. This is a new oversized Black Label Prestige Plus book. I believe it's going to be 3 issues, and I think it looks really, really cool. Really good art to it. I saw the previews pages, and again, I'll be tucking into that one myself. So what have we got? We've got Tim Drake Robin number 7 out this week, so we're continuing on with this. I believe this series is going to come to a head at issue 10. So this will be pretty much the start of the second arc. So yeah, issue 7, Tim Drake Robin. So the most boring Robin continues. We have Sandman Universe, Dead Boy Detectives. We're up to number 4 from Pornsock Pishy Show and Javier Rodriguez. Beautiful looking book. We recently actually got back in stock issues 1, 2, and 3 of this. So if you want to play catch up, we have all of those in store. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, which I believe is a brand new jumping on point because it is a brand new creative team of Tini Howard and Sweeney Boo. They are taking over from Stephanie Phillips, I think it was doing Harley Quinn before. So again, jumping on point if you are new to the world of Harley. We have new Detective Comics this week, issue 1070. So continuing on with Ram V's Gothic Detective Comics. Stefano Raphael on art. We've got some of the previous issues back in stock as well. So again, playing catch up, we can sort you out there. We have Dark Knights of Steel, as I was saying, through the variant covers. Issue 10 here. So continuing on with Tom Taylor and Yasmin Putri's Game of Thrones meets Gotham City, or meets the DC Universe, I should say. We have the last issue of Batman Gotham Knights Gilded City. So of course this was the tie-in to the computer game. This has the individual codes every issue for in-game items. And again, issue 6, beautiful, great pull cover there as well. And then we finish off with a new issue of Action Comics. So Phil Kennedy Johnson, Rafa Sandoval continuing on their Dawn of DC Action Comics run, which comes with the backup stories of Lois and Clark number 2 and Power Girl Reborn. So that is the DC side of things. We move on then to Marvel. So kicking things off with Marvel, we have X-Men Unforgiven. So this has been part of a series of one-shots called Unforgiven. You had Spider-Man Unforgiven, for example. And now we're on to X-Men Unforgiven from Tim Seeley. Lovely Kyle Hutz cover to that. We have probably Marvel's biggest release this week is Venom Lethal Protector 2. David Michelini continuing on with his sort of 90s era set Eddie Brock stuff. First volume was really, really good, so high hopes for the second. We have Strange Academy Finals, number 5. So I think this is ending with number 6, which is a real shame. I love Strange Academy, one of my favorite Marvel titles. Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos on that. We're kicking off this week with the start of the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary one-shots to celebrate the best Star Wars movie. Yes, I did say that. So we're starting off with Jabba's Palace. Who's plotting to overthrow Jabba the Hutt? Comes from Mark Guggenheim. I should say we did order some variants for this as well. None of them arrived either. It's been a stellar week for Diamond. I just decided to neglect my rant in the opening section. Next up we have It's Jeff, which I believe was a online digital series. They've now collected in print from Kelly Thompson, so a great one for all ages there. We have Daredevil number 9 in this week as well, so Chip Zdarsky continuing on. He's working towards the end of his Daredevil run. I do wonder if Chip Zdarsky is going DC exclusive. Keep an eye on that. But yeah, issue 9, and I think he's going to finish up in a few issues' time with his Daredevil epic. He has been on for years at this point, in fairness. We have Clobbering Time, which is a brand new mini-series from Steve Scrooge and Brian Valenza. So obviously The Thing and Hulk teaming up for some Clobbering Time. We have Betsy Braddock of Captain Britain at number 2. So Tina Howard continuing with this. Issue 1 sold well for us, so we'll see if people continue on to issue 2. And then a new title from Derek Landy, very well known, of course, for Skullduggery Pleasant, but also pretty prolific with his Marvel work. Greg Land doing art, and this is Avengers Beyond, so a brand new mini-series here, and one for you to jump into: Black Panther, Iron Man, She-Hulk, Captain America, Thor, etc., etc. So that is the Marvel side of things. So we finish off then with Indie, and it is a quiet week Indie-wise, it has to be said. First of all, you have Vanish number 5. This should have been here last week. I'm sure you can guess what probably happened. Diamond didn't send me it. So issue 5 has arrived this week. So Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates' ode to 90s image continues. Really fun. Really enjoyed issue 5. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. We're up to issue 5 here. This is from Jason Aaron and Alexandra Tefengi. Brilliant title. Absolutely brilliant end of the world stuff. Like, I've talked about how I haven't watched The Last of Us because I'm a little bit bored with end of the world stuff. But this is the opposite. This is fantastic. Great coming of age story. Great story about the bonds you make in the face of adversity. Just a really, really good story, and it's only gotten better with every issue. We have issue 2 of Local Man from Tim Seeley, and again, first issue of this sold very, very well. So again, got the issue 2s in. We have Philadelphia 29. I have a feeling Philadelphia is coming to an end, just story-wise. It feels like it's coming to an end. So Rodney Barnes and Jason Sean Alexander is continuing with their vampire epic. We have Indigo Children from Kurt Perez and Rockwell White, Alex Diotto, D. Cunniff, Hassan Otsman Elahau. And that is a brand new number 1 from Image Comics. And we finish off with another brand new Image number 1 from Mark Millar and Frank Quitely. This sounds really intriguing. 8 billion people, 6 can have superpowers. Who do you choose? It's called The Ambassadors, and from what I understand, it's going to be a different artist every issue. So Mark Millar has pretty much just went into his Rolodex of ridiculously talented artists that he knows about and is friends with, and said, fancy doing an issue? So Frank Quitely there for the first one. So we move away from that and on to what's new in this week. So same as usual, some classics ordered in, some things being topped up, some gaps being filled, mixed in with the new releases. Again, I should have had more than what I have here, but again, Diamond Comics. So I should have had Savage Avengers Omnibus from Jerry Dugan. I should have had Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates. It's just a couple of examples. Now, there's a chance they send it to us this week and it might be in store, but more than likely I would say next week. So first up, we have Task Force Z, What's Eating You? In other words, Volume 2 of Task Force Z, which is the concluding one. I've always said this is the most underrated DC title of the last few years. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Matthew Rosenberg and Eddie Barrows. Eddie Barrows was someone who I loved from doing the Nightwing run on the New 52. Rosenberg has just been rising more and more to prominence as one of my favorite writers. It's basically Suicide Squad or Task Force X, instead of it being criminals looking to absolve themselves of years of prison time. It's actually reanimated villains who, if they don't do what they're told, will not be given the serum anymore and will die again. It's really dark but really funny, and the team is led by Jason Todd, and any more Jason Todd or Red Hood in comics is only ever a good thing. So that's Volume 2, Volume 1 on the shelf there as well, of course. Next up we have I Am Batman. So this collects I Am Batman 6 to 10 of John Ridley's series. Christian Duce, Ken Lashley as artists as well, Steven Segovia. And this is where he moves to, Jace Fox moves to New York to work, which gives it a different flavour to your traditional Gotham stuff. One thing I got in this week was a complete run of graphic novels, which are all long out of print, and therefore it was really cool to get all of these in. So it's basically the Marvel Zombies range, so it's everything you can think of. You've got Marvel Zombies Dead Days, you've got the much desired Marvel Zombies Army of Darkness from John Layman, and Fabiano Neves. You've got Marvel Zombies Return, and then you start the countdown. Marvel Zombies 4, 3, 2, and the original 1. These are all glorious hardcovers as well. These are the kind of hardcovers that Marvel don't really do anymore. They've changed their style of hardcovers, doing the thicker ones for the likes of Fantastic Four, Avengers, that kind of thing. This is in the more traditional Marvel hardcover way. And again, if you've ever wanted to read Marvel Zombies and wanted to scratch that itch, then this is the series to do so with. So yeah, some lovely stuff in there. And as I say, that I get asked about that Army of Darkness one all the time. The thing is, it's out of print because it was a collaboration with Dynamite Entertainment, who hold the license to Army of Darkness. And Marvel these days, despite being easily the biggest company in comics and being owned by the biggest conglomerate in the world in Disney, they don't want to share their toys. So yeah, I don't see that being printed anytime soon. So what else have we got? We got Scott Pilgrim Volume 6. We got 1 to 5 in last week, so Volume 6 finishes that out. We have Kaya in stock this week, which is fantastic to see. One of my favourite books of the year so far from Wes Craig. This collects Kaya 1 to 5 from Image Comics. And what's cool about this is it's fallen under the purview of the Image Comics $10 number 1, so £9 for that bad boy. Back in stock, we have Nice House on the Lake Volume 2. So that closes out the 12-issue maxi series from James Tynion IV and Alvaro Martino Buenas. Alvaro Martinez Bueno, not Martino Buenas. Martinez Bueno. So that finishes that off. So 7 to 12 again. Volume 1 is on the shelf. We're always trying our best to keep Sandman in stock. So back in stock is books 1 and 2. Again, 3 and 4 and 5 are on the shelf. There was a volume 6 announced recently as well, which is going to include Overture, which I'll get into later. We have Watchmen back in stock because any self-respecting store should have Watchmen in stock at all times. All times. So back in stock, Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons, of course. Another little scene classic for me is Hard Boiled. This is from Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow. It is so over the top and violent and fun and dark and ridiculous. It's absolutely brilliant. But again, it's been a while since it's been in print. But it's great to see back in print. Brand new cover there by Jeff Darrow as well. We have Spider-Punk in this week, which was a 5-issue miniseries from Cody Ziegler, Justin Mason, and Jim Charalampidis. And yeah, so this is continued. This is called Battle of the Band, not band as in your band. Anyway, New Mutants number 4. So this is part of the New Mutants, and this is collecting New Mutants numbers 29 to 33. Back in stock as well, do a power bomb. This is going to be like Watchmen in that I will always have this in stock as long as it's in print because it is absolutely brilliant. My book of the year last year, back in stock as well. We have the next volume up of Moon Knight, so volume 3 of Moon Knight. This contains issues 13 to 18, but also the Moon Knight Annual as well. We have Fantastic Four Epic Collection, so this is Epic Collection volume 19. This collects 1988 and 89's issues, and that is Fantastic Four 321 to 333, plus the annual and material from Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment as well. And then we finish off with Judge Dredd. So this is Judge Dredd. It's called Regicide from Arthur Wyatt, Rob Williams, Jake Lynch, Ian Richardson's complete graphic novel there. So Judge Dredd thought that Orlok the assassin, one of his most nefarious enemies, responsible for infecting Mega City 1 citizens, was dead. But Orlok appears to be back and responsible for a shocking wave of murders. Even more troubling, Orlok is not alone and is working with La Reine Rouge, a brutal crime lord who's trying to take over Europe. What can Dredd do? I have a fair idea what Dredd can do. So yeah, that is all the stuff that is in this week. Of course, all going out onto the shelves today. Pull lists, of course, are all organized and ready for collection. And then the one last thing I should say is that the new previews books arrived this week. So again, I'm going to do a top 5 picks from the previews books video in the next couple of days. Fire that up on the YouTube channel as well. I'll be doing the boards in store, and Keith and I are planning to record a podcast for previews as well. So plenty of content coming your way as ever. So again, hope you enjoy this. Hope it's proven useful. If there's anyone you think would enjoy this stuff, get something out of it, feel free to pass it on. get them subscribing and make sure they never miss an episode. And of course, there's 130-ish episodes before this one as well. You can always go back and see how this lovely mug changes over time and gets grayer as he goes. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoy this. I hope it proves useful, and I'll look forward to seeing you in store soon. So take it easy.